Record. Thank you.
Hello there. This is very exciting times. I am Jesse Rivas of Above the Sun, and I'm a creative coach. I'm here with Sally Webb, and she's from Inspiring Perspectives, and we are hosting a conference called Heart of a True Leadership, and we have our first speaker that we're interviewing, Kerri Welden. So excited to have her on here, and she is brave to let us pick her brains of what she's talking about today. Kerri is such an amazing person, and we're very, very excited to have her on this call. We won't get into too much details in the introduction, but she has an incredible life story, and she has amazing things that she has done. She's an artist, and she's a speaker, and she's an author, and she's overcome so much. Is that right, Kerri?
A lot. Yes. Thank you.
Exactly. So we're excited to have Kerri, and feel free to tell us more about who you are. We're going to ask you some questions, Kerri, but yeah, just I mean, maybe the first thing is just tell us a bit more about who you are and kind of what brought you to Leaders in Life and what brought you to this conference as a whole.
Yeah, well, I'm part of the Brilliant movement. I have been for a long time, but I got really sick and disengaged for a couple of years. And when I came on, the first person who said, "Hey, let's talk," was Sally. And I'm going, "What are you trying to sell me?"
I'd forgotten that. That's amazing.
I said, "You're trying to sell me something." I didn't know. I'm so used to somebody who would just like nobody takes interest in me. And it was like it was a pure connection and pretty much jumped into practically everything Sally does now. I joined her Brilliant Circle, which is a small group. We talk about Graham's and Dion's and Teresa's and everyone's is such a become a big movement, Brilliant. So that was Graham Cook. Um, yeah, we talk about that. And then I just started integrating into her alignment coaching. And then finally, when I got healed, big
Yeah.
story, yay. Um, God just started downloading so many business ideas. I I don't want to say I am. I fight being a workaholic.
Mm.
So when God gives me ideas, I've been trying to work on them, and they're just downloading so fast that it's becoming um, it was becoming quite overwhelming. And then yeah, God, I being with life and leaders
Hmm.
is really helping me to just see how everyone else sort of runs their business, and we all support each other, and we ask questions. How do you do this?
Hmm.
What would you do in this situation and stuff like that. Mm.
Well, I love what you said there. I mean, even from Sally reaching out to you at first, and isn't it so funny how that it's so often that we as leaders are sometimes having to fight that the people we reach out to, they think that we're just trying to sell them something, and
Yeah.
so this is something that we're trying to really to come against in the Heart of the True Leadership Conference. What does it mean to be a heart of a true leader? How do we be authentic? How do we and actually just connect with people? And so I'm my first question I want to ask you, Kerri, just kind of on that, since you are one of the speakers here, like what are you excited about bring to the conference in your topic?
Oh wow. So God has a sense of humor. He really does. So yeah, just told you I'm fighting workaholism, and he's going,
Hmm.
Kerri, this is before even the conference came about. He had said to me, he goes, it was a week or two before I even heard about the conference. He goes, Kerri, you are going to be a leader in rest.
Mm.
What? Yep, you are going to be speaking about rest. This is where you are going to be um, a leader in. And I went, okay. So I had known a lot about that already, having been sick, and I believe the resting and abiding in him was a massive progress for me. And so yeah, I'm learning a lot more every day. When you are given an assignment, you are given the opportunity to practice. And so by the time conference comes up, I'll be really rested.
Come on.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love that. I
That's
love
so
that.
good.
Yeah, funny. So, Kerri, thanks, Jesse, and thanks for
Of
like
course.
introducing us and getting us going. And I'm just sitting here laughing. I had completely forgotten about my first conversation with Kerri.
That's
And
hilarious.
what's so beautiful is how far we have all come. You know,
Yeah.
from the moment when we get involved to where we are now, it has been a miracle, like it has. And I remember meeting this lady, and I wasn't even going to share this, but I remember meeting this lady who was very defensive, who was like, "What do you want from me? Like, why are you ringing me? Like, why do you even want to get in touch? Like, get out of my face because you obviously want something." And bless you. And I love this because actually, and you have been a workaholic, like that was your identity, was in your work, it was in what you did, it was who you were. And that was, I was meeting the tail end of that in terms of the fact that you had been physically sick for a number of years, that had taken you completely out of work. You couldn't do, you were very limited in what you were doing. And that was the point at which I met you. So you were kind of at that real low point. However, you were looking, the fact that you were part of Brilliant, the fact that you actually had a conversation with me and you didn't put the phone down. Like, you were looking, you were like, oh, like, okay, this woman's a bit full on, but you were looking for something different, you were looking for something more. You were like, okay, everything I've done in my strength has got me to here, and this is not where I want to be. So we're not going to hold on that, because actually that's just for those who are listening to this, or for people who think, actually, I'm not ready to be a leader. I'm not ready. This isn't my gig. I'm at the end of my tether, or whatever that might be. Then actually this is exactly the place to be, because we don't look at what you're not. We look at what you are and who you
Mhm.
are and how brilliant you are. And when I had that first conversation with Kerri, I remember just this woman's incredible
Mm.
heart for people, heart for love, heart to live life to the full. It wasn't what she was living at that point in time, but I could see that's who she was. And she'd been busy, 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 as we often are, rather than being in the business of her life. She was in the busyness of her life. And so, Kerri, thank you for saying yes. Thank you for coming on the journey with me. Thank you for actually, to be fair, once you started to get like, oh, this is actually quite good. Well, actually, this could be quite helpful for me. You have jumped in full noise. You've been
Mhm.
all in from the beginning, which has been a real joy. So, Jessie did a fantastic introduction for you. Artist, writer, businesswoman, creator, heart of God, which is why we
Mm.
connect so well. You, and you're vibrant. You are positive, you
Mhm.
are vibrant, you're an overcomer. You can share about, your little story about, oh, here I was one day and then I was healed the next, because that was a miracle. But it was a journey. It was a journey to get there. And I had the honor, obviously, of being part of that journey and watching that journey from where you were to where you are now. But you're going to come in as a leader, as somebody who's overcome, who was there, but actually the entrepreneur, the business lady, the creative, the artist. I love the fact that your art is all over the world. I apologize that this piece of art is not actually yours. I need to put yours up
Oh.
next time. That's so rude. It's another dear friend of mine, but I do have my bestest friend's art up in my places. Um, it's all over the world. And so have your books, your books gone out all over the world
Yeah.
as well. And all of this has just happened during your time with Leaders in Life. So I
Mhm.
have 4 questions that I ask everybody, because it's about life and it's about love and it's about why we do what we do. So tell me, what do you love about being part of our group, about being part of Leaders in Life? What is it that you love about being part of that?
I'm a very supportive person, so I've been jumping into what other people have been doing, and like so their courses and stuff, and I just love seeing how people are really running life, running in their lane, and really just they're just moving forward so quickly. Um, I hope to catch up.
Oh,
um,
you will.
yeah. So I mean, I've joined in with Jesse in his business now, and learning a lot from him as well. So I just feel, and that being in this environment has just given me those connections, to be able to just move forward in areas as well. And yeah, just somebody else just launched a book this week, and um, yes, someone did it a couple of weeks ago, and it's not all about books, but that's just, I mean, someone been running courses, and it's just they are just so full on, so pertinent for what we're doing, and
Mhm.
yeah, so as I am developing my little things, I've been able to just ask, what do you like, which logo do you like best, and and just asking some little questions. I'm out rural, um, because I was sick. I'm 3,000 kilometers away from friends, and um, so I'm in the middle of nowhere, and it's really good to have an online community because I can't have a face-to-face. But even if I had that face-to-face here, and in the closest town, it doesn't have it won't have the kingdom, the God-aligned people in it, that and all their little businesses, that actually we all just can help each other and lift each other up. So yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Mm.
really good point, actually, in terms of, and it's interesting for those of you, none of you will know that I actually got the opportunity to go and meet Kerri in the flesh when we were in Australia. So, although we built this relationship online, it actually was lovely to meet you in person as well. And I'm going to get to meet Jessie in person before our conference. How cool is that? I'm going to go all the way to the States. It's so exciting. So I get so excited. But you know what? It's been beautiful because these relationships have been built in this forum, in the Leaders in Life. And as you, it was lovely for you to witness just now, Kerri, like how everyone's been able to help each other and how we get to cheer each other on, and how we're just all learning and growing together. And
Mhm.
somebody's got an answer for something somewhere for each one of us. And that's the joy. We come and we go, okay, I need help with this, or I'm nutting this out, or oh, I'm just about to do my conference, or I've just launched my latest book. We all get to cheer each other on. And I think that's rare. I do think it's rare. So it's lovely to have you on board, and we get to run. We're all running in our lanes, doing the thing that we do, but we're getting to run together, and it's so much fun.
Yeah.
I get so excited. Okay, so you're going to come to conference, and you're going to be speaking on, as you've just
On
shared.
rest.
I
So
think,
exciting.
isn't it? Like, and don't you love, Jesse, how God, this is my thing. Okay, so I I thought nobody liked me as a kid. Like, nobody liked me, nobody cared, nobody loved me. And yet my gift is to gather people, bring people together,
Mhm.
and put fire.
Absolutely.
And so the thing that where I'd been told I was rubbish was actually where I was brilliant at. And it's the
Mm.
same for you. You had been 100 miles an hour, busy, 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 because you thought that your identity is in what you did and being full on and a workaholic. And then God goes, oh, see how the enemy made you think that? Come and hang out with me. Let me just do rest here. Let's see what you can produce from rest. Nuts. There we go. All the art that is sitting behind Kerri right there has all been produced from rest. And most of that has been produced during our time together on Leaders in Life and in Brilliant. So bring it on, all from rest. So what insight would you like to share with those that are going to come to conference? Maybe those that are currently workaholics, because it's very common. You think that that's what's going to bring you the peace or whatever. What is it you'd like to bring for people or show people, or what's the insight you're going to give them at the event?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I have found that the more I can rest and align with God, the more productive I can be during the day. And that's sort of, I guess that's what I want to bring into the conference, and maybe show a few methods of what I do and how I do it. But all my good ideas come from resting in God too. So, I mean, yeah, sometimes we're so busy that we end up forgetting that we're aligned with God at times, and start, because we get so busy and so worked up that it's, oh, I've got to do this, got to do that. And you start making your own decisions,
Mm.
you
Yeah.
know? And yeah, because it becomes too rushed to, you know, so yeah, I want to, show how people can breathe. Mm.
I need that too, which
Yeah,
is so good, Kerri. I mean, it reminds me of my first time when I was 18 years old down in a YWAM base, and one of the most impactful people that I've heard says that I don't know if you're going to teach on this specifically, but he says that you're often stuck in three different cycles, or there's three different cycles: the give up cycle, the try harder cycle, or the rest cycle.
yeah,
And so if you're not in rest, you're either giving up or you're trying harder. I don't know if you feel the same way, but
yeah. Because resting doesn't mean sitting on this couch. Like, this couch has been, you know, it's very old. It's you should see all the cracks in it. But this has been my because I've been so sick. I This is where, you know, I think there's a Kerri shaped hole in this lounge, because this is where I have sat,
mm,
right? But this isn't the only place you can rest. The only place, you know, people think, oh, I'm too busy to rest. It's like, you know, you can rest while you're being active. You know, you can rest while you are doing, because if you are not abiding with God, you start your day off abiding, resting, sitting in your secret place. You then bring that with you. You bring that with you into the day, you know, and you'll be surprised, you know, you'll have some difficult things that come to you during the day, and the Holy Spirit will just go, here's your answer. You
hmm
know, you, you might end up being the one that in your workplace that everyone comes to for answers, because suddenly it's you've left trying to just be knowledge and knowing for yourself, but you've become aligned with God, and you are running with the Holy Spirit in every decision you make. And that's resting. That's resting in God and just allowing him to take the steering wheel, really, you know.
hmm
Um, and you're still there. You're still actively moving. Mm.
That's That's so good. I mean, like it's inspiring me, and I have a thought. I maybe ask you. It's more of a direction, but also could be a thought. I just love this. Would you say that it's also because I'm reminded of the Bible where it's like Jesus is like, I'm about my Father's business. Like I only do what the Father does, right? Would you say that because I know for my own business is resting in God, it helps me really know what mission I am a part of. And I'm just wondering if you have any insights of that. Is that true that like, yeah, I could be doing all these different tasks, but it's like, what is my actual calling? What is my actual mission? That only can come out of rest. Is that your experience?
Yeah, I'm a locksmith.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm not locksmithing right now. I'm actually working through the shed, getting rid of all that stock. Because when I came out of sickness and God started giving me ideas of my future, that wasn't even there.
Mm,
My assignment has changed, my plan has changed. And because God has been going, oh, I see you doing this. you know, I get a lot of prophetic words and dreams, and this is where some of the paintings have come from. And I wasn't going, that was going to be a hobby, but suddenly, people wanted them. And so, what? You know, um, so just yeah, God has been showing me this area, and it's all about expanding the kingdom.
Hmm.
That's our purpose in life, is to expand the kingdom, to have a relationship with God and expand the kingdom. So there you go. Love God, love others. You
That's
know,
so funny. Sorry, I want to jump in really quickly. I know
yeah.
Sal, you have something to ask that, but like, I did not know you were a locksmith, and that I don't. I mean, my secret thing, or not secret, but my kind of more extravagant thing is I don't think God wastes anything, and I'm sure many people believe that. But it's like you may not be doing that locksmithing in the physical, but I think you are unlocking things in other people, which is so cool. Right? Like, and you have these
Yeah.
keys to rest. And yeah, I mean, some people could be like, oh, okay, well, I gotta be more productive. I just gotta rest more. Okay, I heard that many times, but or I don't know, they may not have heard it many times, but you bring the actual, like, you can hear a knowledge, or you can hear the unlocking. And I think that you're going to be bringing that unlocking, and even your art. Like, I feel like I can just see it right now. Like, that will actually bring rest to people who have it in their homes. Like, there's an unlocking gifting that you have.
Yeah, each piece has prophetic words on them,
Hmm.
um, which yeah, maybe unique out there, but I feel when God gives a word, sometimes it's not just for that person, because God's promises are available for all of us. So I really wanted to share that. So I mean, the platform I'm selling on, I can't be adding stuff to it, but I have their emails, so I've been, emailing them, nice little things they can print out and add with their art, because
Love that.
yeah,
Love it.
I mm,
You guys are gold. I see, and this, for those of you listening to this is how we work in Leaders in Life. Somebody will spark off somebody else, and oh, what about this? And have you thought? And oh my goodness. And this is kind of how we roll. And it was interesting while Jesse was getting his revelation, and I loved those three areas. Remind us what they were again, Jesse. I thought that was great. It was like give up, try harder, or rest.
Or rest. And what Carrie was saying, yeah, it's like you have these two pit hole, pits of give up and try harder. But like she was saying, when you're resting, you're not being productive. You're just you're still being productive, but you're as a state of rest. Yeah.
And rest isn't about the Zs. It's not about snoozing. It's actually, as you say, about being active. And the statistics, and I'll have to look them up because I don't have like the exact where it comes from, but there are statistics about 90% of people's creative ideas or solutions for problems at work happen at rest. They happen when you're on vacation. They happen when you're not actually in the moment. And I'm reminded of how many people make a good decision when they're stressed. We often make a reaction. We react to something when we're under pressure or we're stressed.
mm,
And yet, you pause and you go, hold on a minute, let me think about how many times have I made a poor decision, and I can 100% put my hand up that, or I've said something unkind under pressure, which I've then wanted to take those words back.
mm,
Whereas when we come from rest,
mm,
we've got a moment to pause, and we can stop those words coming, and we can just it's like we get that moment. So 100% we are behind you in rest, because actually that's
yeah,
where all of my business comes from. That's where it is, from that place of rest. So super excited that you're going to bring some gold nuggets. You're going to bring some keys to unlock the wisdom that people, the treasure that people will have with inside themselves from rest, because you know what, they can only see it when they're restful. When you're stressed, everything shuts down. So very excited for the insights you're going to bring. And we've kind of covered a little bit of it already, but what freedom So, for example, what freedom are you going to give to the people that are coming to conference from learning about rest or coming from rest? And what freedom has it given you? Like we've already seen, it's given you the freedom to create. It's given you the freedom to hear from God and get the dreams and get the prophetic and receive those prophetic words, which you weren't getting beforehand because everything else was closed off. So, what freedom
Oh
are you
yeah.
going to bring?
Well, it's funny you say that because it brings me to the memory. I spent 10 years on my knees going, Lord, I just want to hear you like everyone else is in my church. Why can't I hear you? And I was a workaholic in my prayer life. I was an intercessor.
Wow.
I would walk the town and walk around the church 7 times, walk around our charity 7 times, walk around my house 7 times, and I would be praying and praying, and some of that was, why can't I hear you? And it wasn't until I stopped praying did I hear him, because there has to be a rest in your prayer life too. You got to
Mm.
be able to hear him, and you can't if you're doing all the talking. Yeah. So I learned to just find that secret place, and that's where my freedom was, because in that place, even though I was sick at the time, I started having adventures with God that were just crazy, because I was able to just sit and rest. And sometimes, I mean, there was one morning I got up and I said, okay, I've got this to watch. You know, I do videos and stuff for devotions. He goes, no, just sit with me. I said, okay. Um, shall we talk about what I'm doing today? No, just sit with me. So there was a real freedom in even the relationship I had with God. And when he learned, once we learnt the freedom of being together, that the relationship we have abiding, and he then was able to take it into the areas of my work, because that was before he started downloading all these ideas. He wanted me to have that alignment with him, and just and it, the freedom of not having to come up with ideas myself. Because yes, it's like, oh my gosh, I would never have thought of that. It's great. Why? Because God's thoughts, God's dreams are higher than yours.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I actually thought, oh, I'd love to do this in my future, and went, okay, let's double that.
I love that, Kerri. And yeah, I
Okay,
completely
I'm going to be
agree.
doing this in life. So God's going to have to double that again now, because that was my, yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
That is so beautiful. And you actually really touched my heart
Hmm.
when you said, I had been on my knees for 10 years. I
Hmm.
had been a workaholic in my prayer life, or in how I felt I needed to work hard for God. And rest has brought you the freedom.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that must have been so uncomfortable when God said, I just want you to be with me. And you're like, okay, we're going to talk about my day? No. We're going to talk about whatever else?
Nope.
Like, it's like, seriously? You just want me to sit here and be with you? Like, what the heck? And bless his heart. That is exactly what he wants with all of us. I love God because he's selfish. We're all his favorites. And he wants time with his favorite sons and daughters. And I love that. And I love that he never takes his eyes off us. We do, because we go running ahead. And that, you did make me laugh in that, because, like, well, I'm going to go and do, God's told me this, I'm going to go and do this. He might have given you the insight, but has he given you the go button? Has he said, now is the time? And the amount of times I've run ahead and I was gone, I'm over here. And I'm like, oh, hold on a minute, I'm coming back. So, or for you, it was that, when you 10 years, that trying to hear from God, trying to do it in your own strength, trying to prove to him your value. But all the time, all he wanted you to do was just sit with him. And from there, you have produced the most incredible work. As you say, work, you're a locksmith. Like, how did then painting and then writing books and being an entrepreneur, how did that ever come into the equation? But thanks to God and being in alignment with him and being in your rest, that's what you've produced. And I guess that leads me beautifully onto the last question that I always ask for life, which is engagement, because engagement is actually about relationship. And for me, the cross is it's the relationship with him first, and then it's the relationship with everybody else. It's like, so how has resting, which is what you are going to share on for us, how has that improved or upgraded or multiplied your relationship with him and with each other?
Yeah, that cross just hit me because I have created a new logo and a new name, and the median point is our alignment with God. And when you have that straight, you've got the south and the north completely true. That's when you can have your east and west completely true. And that is your relationships with others. And I have been one, and not just in work, but having to try and prove myself to people and then wanting them to love me. But then I've got the defenses up so much that I can't, not loving myself, that I also push people away. Even though all I was doing was trying to prove myself, I was still pushing people away. So in my new alignment, I have actually created communities, or joined communities and then created communities that we all align in our thinking and our and even if we don't, I do have a friend who's we talk quite a lot, but we're actually able to have a really in-depth discussion without offending each other, and that's the thing. God wants us to also be out in the community, and what we're doing is as we have that atmosphere that we create when we're in our secret space, because we have God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit in us. We're in them as well, so they create this atmosphere. As we walk in to areas, that atmosphere just starts to spread. And that's where we can go into community. Sally's got a great story where she went to a party and that her atmosphere just spread right through, to change the dynamics, and I am seeing that in my family, and friends, they can see a real difference in me too, because I'm no longer trying to defend myself. The walls are down. Yeah, so
it's been beautiful, and it has been beautiful to see you. And you're talking about your walls up and you're proving, and that was where you were when I met you. That was
yes,
exactly
very much.
who you or your identity was at that time.
Mm.
And this, like, for those, I really encourage you to come to this conference, even if you just come to listen to Kerri, because she is the warmest, kindest. Her gift of hospitality is outstanding. We won't get to see that online, but I got to receive that when we caught up with her. She fed us for a whole week. She come to feed us for 2 days. She said, "I'll cook some meals for you," and she arrived with her ute and with like chili bin after chili bin. And I'm not kidding you, I did not have to cook for my whole week on holiday. I was so grateful. Anyway, sorry, you're not going to get that because we're online. But it's just this beautiful woman who carries the heart of God to serve, to help, to grow, and to lead. because what you do and what you're going to be sharing is you're leading in rest. You can
Hmm.
say, I had this disease before I learned rest, which actually is part of your story.
Yeah.
And so I have exchanged sickness and disease and not being good enough and no one wanting me for being valued, loved, chosen, part of a community who just loves me to the ends of the earth and back, running with people. And that's obviously the offer for people coming
Hmm.
to this event. Jesse, myself, those that are all of us that are in this for God. And we're
Yeah.
in this not for ourselves, but we're in this to see his kingdom come. And his kingdom come for us is to see the goodness of God reign. And Kerri is going to share on the key to the kingdom of rest. And so just come and be part of this because you are going to have, it's different. We chat like this. This is like our normal meetings, really. Bring your cup of tea or your cup of coffee. And, we're all here. Look, how nuts is that? We're all here with our cup of tea. Nice one, actually. Jesse's got proper mugs. He's got a.
We need to get some proper mugs for the
Yeah,
Oh,
for my
conference for
business.
sure.
oh my goodness.
Well,
How could we do it so that we could
We've
actually
got to do
create some mugs for
yeah.
people? Because
that.
we're not mugs, we're beautiful people. We can leave the mug for the tea.
Yep.
I'm actually advertising what's that? The Hobbiton. So this is a Hobbiton cup.
Perfect.
The
New Zealand,
colours,
that's
the
funny.
colours work with
Yeah.
with the company colours.
Well, what's really funny about mine, and it's I was trying to make some merch, but there's a misprint, and so I was supposed to say you got this, but it actually does says it in misprinted. So
You
I
got
love
this
this
is
cup
the
though, because it's like
best.
you don't got this, and we're just messy, and we're just but we're good. God
Oh,
loves
that
us.
was so prophetic.
Yeah.
That is so cool because that is
Yep.
exactly how
Yeah.
this crew works. None of us are perfect. Like none of us. We're all just like working out this messy middle together because we've been born, we haven't gone to heaven yet, and we're just working out this stuff in the middle. But we get to run together as we do it. And the mistakes is always God. He's just so grateful we take the action. And it doesn't, because it's all about learning and growing and how we move forward. Jesse, is there anything you want to add? Or Kerri, is there anything else you want to share as we kind of start to wrap this up for people? Because we really, really want them to come and join us and have some fun. Is there anything either of you want to share?
I'm just really excited to come and listen to what Carrie has to bring. So yeah, that's what I want.
Yeah, me too.
I want to share that there's a series of us talking, and there's going to be like a golden thread through it, and it's going to
Mhm.
all join together. So the whole conference isn't going to be about rest. There's other speakers that are going to bring their leadership um, uh, dominion, I guess, to us, and I think that makes it a very rich conference.
Mhm.
And just a little snippet for anyone listening to this, you can get to know now. Kerri is going to be our MC. So she's going to be part of the golden thread that will get us, because part of this conference isn't actually just about us talking, because that's unhelpful. Part of this conference is actually about you getting the revelation for yourself, direct from God. And so Kerri is also going to just come and shimmy in. Jesse and I are going to be doing a bit of it too, but we're just going to shimmy in and do a bit of help with your reflection, help with, okay, I've heard what Kerri said about rest. We're going to have some questions for you that you just get to privately answer for yourself, that you get to sit in that moment and consider what does that really mean for your own life. Because part of this conference and part of how we work as leaders in life is we come, we share, and then we have an action point to go away with. Because this isn't an event where you go, oh, that was amazing, that was super, and then your life doesn't change on the other side. That is really unhelpful. And so for each person like Kerri who's going to speak or share, and some of them's going to be conversation, some of them's going to be like this, some will just share and give the knowledge. But Kerri and Jesse and I are actually just going to thread through and reflect back so that you actually get the gold out of this, because what we're sharing is to pour into you. We've been blessed with it, blessed to be a blessing. And what we want to do is bless you. So if you're a workaholic and you're like, actually, I'm burnt out, I'm tired, I've had enough, I've done my best, and my best is not where I want to be, I'm over whatever the thing is, come and see what we've got to offer. You've got nothing to lose and everything to gain. And come and learn what rest really does. Come and learn how brilliant and how unique and how fantastic you are and what God's got for you, because that's really what this is about. Any last words, team?
I'm excited.
Yeah.
You guys, yeah, and those who are watching, yeah, you come on. It's going to be really, really good, and I'm excited. Kerri, thank you for sharing all that you've done, and just so many good nuggets already. So, yeah, you guys are awesome.
And for the dates, in case you want to know the dates, we will put them in with the chats and with the, with the YouTube channel, etc. We'll have the dates highlighted. Kerri is doing the graphics, so you will see her artwork up front and center for this. Anyone who needs a graphic designer, this is your lady. Anyway, sideline. 28th, 27th, 28th, if you're in the US or on that side of the world. And for Kerri and I, isn't this exciting? We've got America, New Zealand and Australia all on camera together today.
Mhm.
Brilliant. So if
And
you're,
that's in February.
yeah, thank you.
February. Yes.
27th, 28th of Feb, book your tickets now. You do not want to miss out. And if you're in New Zealand and Australia, we're always a day ahead. And so we're the 28th of February and the 1st of March. But we have looked at this. If you're from the UK, it's a late night. If you're from New Zealand, Australia, it's an early morning. And if you're in the US or Canada, it's a beautiful hangout in the middle of your day. So we have desperately tried to include everyone to come and have some fun. So we thank you, Kerri, for your time today. Thank you, Jessie, for being my partner in crime. I'm sure that's not a very
Absolutely.
biblical thing.
It's an honor.
We like hanging out together, and we'll look forward to seeing all of you at the conference. God bless.